Namaskar, I am Rajendra Salokhe. This video is about the Nimzo Indian Spielmann variation. Now, I have been discussing systematically Nimzo Indian defense, and this is going to be the last video as far as the opening part is concerned. I have made a video on the traps in Nimzo Indian, and if I get to say more traps, then I'll go on making videos on the traps also. So Nimzo Indian as such is not finished, but opening part will finish with this video. So look at the chart at the left and we'll have a hurried revision of what we've done so far. The Nimzo Indian defense starts with d4 knight f6, c4 c6, knight c3, bishop b4, and as for the fourth move there will be variations. So supposing white plays queen to c2, then it is classical variation. Now white plays e3, this, then it is Rubinstein variation, and there are further variations in that which we had already discussed in my various videos. Now if a white plays bishop to g5 here, pinning the knight, then it is called Leningrad variation. And now if white plays a3, threatening the bishop, then it is a Siamish variation. And now we are talking about here this Spielmann variation, which is queen to b3, takes the queen to b3. Now I'll see the most common moves which I have taken from the this thing Explorer database, chess database Explorer, and it is part of study. It's not necessary that you play as per the moves, and I am not responsible for any games. So fourth common move is c5 here, supporting the bishop and threatening this d4, but it crosses, d cross c5 is there. Then it takes knight to c6, again supporting the bishop. White plays knight to f3, black plays knight e4, threatening this knight. But I don't know, this knight doesn't seem to have any support there. Yeah, but you cannot remove this c3 knight because it is pinned with the king. Yeah, absolute pin is there. Bishop d2, so he removes the pin by bringing in the bishop. Knight cross d2, knight cross d2, bishop cross c5, e3, black castles, bishop to e2, and white castles. And black plays b6 against supporting this bishop here, and then white castle. These are the very common moves played in this Nimzo Indian Spielmann variation. Now let us see one game. This time I am showing one game only, because normally I give two games, but I don't know, some people they get bored watching the games, but you should watch the games because it's very necessary how people have played. So here, and some of the great players' games I am taking here. See, Aaron Nimzowitsch is playing black, and Efim is playing white. So to watch Nimzowitsch game is another pleasure, in fact. Now see the Spielmann moves: d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop to b4, and queen to b3. This is a Spielmann variation. Now next move he has made is, which is a very common move, c5, d cross c5, Knight to c6 again protecting. See how the common moves are played here. Knight to f3, knight e4. Same thing. Say this knight is pinned, so this knight can go to e4 and pressurize this. Bishop d2, knight cross c5. And those common moves I have not taken for this game. It's challenge, but I have taken from Explorer. About 32 lakh, 3.2 millions were analyzed and common moves are found. Now here I have analyzed the game, and the computer says that this black should have played, captured this d2 bishop. So removing the pin of this, pressurizing this point. But black is around Nimzowitsch, that if you play something different, then it will be a Nimzowitsch variation again. And then the next move would have been knight captures that, and then black castles here, and white plays e3. So computer says that it should have been this, but he captured this pawn here. Now we come back. Now queen e takes to c2. Now see some of the moves, of various variations keep matching, because this is a queen going to c2 is classical variations. First move in red. First means fourth move after you finish the main Nimzowitsch moves. Now he pushes this pawn to f5. It seems a little disturbing the castle, but again you cannot say about anything about Nimzowitsch. Plays e3, castles, and he castles at the short castles. It's not that he is intending to castle at the right, a long castle, and then disturbing the castle. He's just pushing the pawn up. Sometimes in Sicilian also pushing the pawn up by white gives an advantage to white. Bishop to e2, b6, any long castles. Now again the computer says he should not have done that, because one fellow castling long and one fellow castling short makes both of them attack, because now here black can attack from the left side and from the right side to the castle, and white can attack from the left side and here, because he has castled at the right. So instead the computer suggests that he should have taken the rook at c1, doubled the force here on c file. Then a5, black plays a5, a3, threatening that, and bishop to c3, because there is a threat here from, supposing your rook is there, then this capturing all the things gives a threat to this rook. So rook is moved, bishop cross c3, bishop cross c3, and knight to e4 should have been played, but now he long castled, and next move is a5, supporting the bishop. He plays a3, black plays a4, not bothering about whether this is taking the bishop or not. There is a threat to bishop. Why is not bothering is, supposing it takes bishop like this, bishop cross, supposing it crosses this, then knight cross b4, it traps the queen. Queen cannot move. But the computer has provided solution for this also. If you think very intelligently and sharply, then there is a solution to this also. The solution is knight cross a4, knight cross c2, knight cross c5, knight cross e3, and bishop cross e3. Now queen is lost, white queen is lost, but white gains 3 pieces, 2 knights and a bishop against the queen, so point wise it is equal. And some people even say that it is good to have captured 3 pieces and lose 1 piece like that, because the 3 pieces can move 3 independent moves they can have. So there is a solution if you think, otherwise your queen is gone here if you take this. Bishop cross d2 and check, knight cross d2, knight to a5, bishop f3. Now he is threatening the rook here. Now Nimzowitsch thinks the other way. He has pushed the pawn here in between to remove this threat, and he has captured, and further he moves the bishop here, threatening the knight here, and he brings knight to c4 white. So bishop captures this knight. Now he captures the pawn here, and again the threat is there to the rook. Then again this pawn can move further, create problems. But just Nimzowitsch has a tactics in his mind, and he moves his queen here to c7. That means he allows the rook to go, and he saved from the pawn fork. In fact, that pawn fork is not a strong fork because queen can capture the pawn, but he has got some other idea. He allows the bishop, allows the rook to be captured. Black allows the rook to be captured, and white does that. So he has bishop cross c6. First he takes the knight here. Second, white brings the bishop in between at d5 with the support from the rook. But he captures that, bishop cross d5. So he captures with the rook. So he brings the queen to c6, threatening the rook here and pawn here. Both can go. Now he pushes the pawn to e7, and see Nimzowitsch, he crosses this, captures a rook here at d5 and allows his rook to be captured and become a queen. Becomes a queen. King captures that rook. So if you think of loss and gain, black has 2 knights while rook is less by and white is less by rook and a pawn. So white is 6 points less, and 6 versus 6, so it is material wise it is equal. It is equal because pawn 3 and 3 6, white has 6 pawns and Nimzowitsch has 5 pawns only, and 2 knights, so they 1 point more is there than the rook, so points are, material balance is there. Rook comes to d1 and threatens the queen. Queen goes to e5, plays h3. Nimzowitsch plays h5, g4, h cross g4, h cross g4. Now knight goes there and gives a check from here. Knight to b3 and check. King to b1, it crosses this f cross g4, rook he brings straight on this threatening to capture this pawn on g4, queen to d5, rook again to g1 to threaten the queen. Now he brings the queen to e4 and offers an exchange. Now exchange is not accepted by the white, but let's see what happens if he exchanges. Knight cross e4, rook goes to g1, knight captures on f2, king to c2, knight to c5, king to d2, knight to e4 and check. Both knights are supporting each other. Black moves the king to e7, rook to f1, threatening to capture this knight. Knight moves to h3 and rook goes to c1. So in fact, material wise, white is just a rook up and he is 2 knight and pawn up. See, Nimzowitsch, he was pawn less, but he has now gone pawn up, and he's got 2 knights, so 6 points against his 5, and 1 pawn also is additional. So that queen is not captured. Instead, white moves, his rook again to this g1, so threatening this pawn. Knight goes to d2, king to c1, queen to d5, queen h7, knight to e4, queen to h8 and check, king goes to f7, white moves the king to b1 and queen to d3 and check. Now here white has resigned. So let's see why white has resigned. So position is, supposing kings goes to here a2, knights c3 check, pawn can capture the knight, but queen goes to c2 and check, king goes to a1 and knight to b3 and checkmate. So this way the checkmate will take place. So that is all about this Spielmann variation. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and please subscribe this channel.